Have you ever zoomed in on a remote patch of a digital globe and felt a sudden knot in your stomach? Staring at a blurred patch of land in the middle of nowhere, wondering what exactly they're hiding. Investigators scanning miles of empty sand noticed a severe anomaly. Between the rolling dunes was a massive geometric shadow, its edges entirely too precise to be natural. But days later, the shadow vanished. A systematic erasure now covers the area with a low-resolution patch. That level of digital scrubbing takes dedicated resources. It forces a very specific question. Why spend millions of dollars to actively obscure a patch of dead, empty desert? Nobody spends that kind of effort hiding nothing. The platforms we rely on for an objective view of the planet are being actively manipulated to keep massive physical structures completely out of sight. Searching for answers, people moved past the current public maps and started tearing through archived satellite data, forgotten military records, and outdated captures from digital libraries. The historical data revealed a terrifying pattern. In images from one year, smooth roads would appear out of nowhere, only to be completely erased in the next update. Runways stretched miles into the desert in the span of weeks. Building at that speed in total isolation defies standard engineering timelines. The most concerning piece of evidence came from a former satellite technician posting anonymously on an obscure forum. He described exactly how these anomalies vanish. According to him, mapping platforms don't just rely on automated algorithms. They use a manual filtering protocol. Specific planetary coordinates are flagged, intercepted, and altered by human hands before the public ever sees them. This rules out automated errors. We are looking at a highly coordinated, human-led operation designed specifically to conceal an active, sprawling facility operating in a global blind spot. Digital sleuthing only goes so far. Eventually, one independent explorer decided to test the blackout by physically driving out to those exact coordinates and live-streaming his entire journey. The first few hours were exactly what you would expect from the deep desert. Absolute isolation, endless rolling sand under a burning sky, with silence stretching to the horizon. But as he got closer to the target zone, his equipment started failing. His compass stopped pointing north. His GPS signal choked and dropped entirely, even though there was absolutely nothing blocking the sky. Then he hit the pavement. Cutting straight through the dunes was a perfect black asphalt highway. No signs, no lines, and no documentation on any official map. Finding a pristine, heavy-duty road built into a digitally erased zone confirms the online censorship is not a clerical error. It is an active perimeter protecting a highly guarded, physical reality. Viewers watching the livestream noticed the first signs of it in the distance. Massive white lights began pulsing beneath the horizon, casting a glow so intense it looked like an entire city operating underground. As he stepped out of his vehicle, his microphone picked up a deep, low-frequency hum. The desert floor itself was vibrating, reacting to the sheer power of massive machinery churning deep beneath the sand. He continued forward on foot until he hit a physical barrier, a towering steel fence rising straight out of the sand, completely unmarked by flags or warnings. There was only a single, jagged line of faded white text painted directly onto the metal. It read, simply, "Turn back immediately." In a panicked whisper, the explorer described tall silhouettes moving into position behind the steel mesh. They stood perfectly still under the floodlights, watching him silently. 17 seconds later, his video feed cut to heavy static. The account never uploaded another video, and the explorer was never heard from again. Crossing the line from digital curiosity into a physical blackout zone carries severe, potentially lethal consequences. In the days following the livestream's sudden end, the online cover-up intensified. The exact coordinates of his last transmission were aggressively scrubbed from platforms, a clear reaction to someone getting too close. But independent researchers managed to pull leaked thermal photolite scans of the region. This data revealed intense, glowing heat signatures radiating from tunnels miles beneath the surface. The temperatures were far too high for ordinary infrastructure. Soon after, a single, highly distorted image was uploaded anonymously before being wiped minutes later. It captured a glimpse of what those thermal signatures were tracing. The frame showed an enormous, cavernous structure carved into the bedrock. It was perfectly smooth, heavily symmetrical, and lacked any of the brutalist angles of a military bunker. It didn't look human. The combination of extreme subterranean heat and non-human geometry supports the most chilling theory. This infrastructure serves as a massive, high-tech seal for something ancient, buried miles beneath the sand. We rely on satellite maps to give us a false sense of omniscience. We scroll across the globe and assume that because we can see the continents, we are seeing the whole truth. If they can erase a massive subterranean facility from a barren desert, how many other dead zones hide beneath our oceans, forests, and mountain ranges? Let me know down in the comments what you think is really buried in the sand. A classified weapons project, an underground city, or something much older? And if you want to explore more of the world's hidden secrets, hit subscribe and drop a like on this video. Every day, we go about our normal lives right above these blind spots. The world is far stranger than we are allowed to know, and the biggest secrets are